Boom, what's good, people? Just want to give you an update on my thoughts today, how I'm feeling. Yeah, today I'm feeling pretty good. I've been feeling pretty calm, and I feel like my mind is giving me a good. Hang on a second. Just this is a funny moment. I'm looking at this pigeon that is making sound outside a window, and I've just realized something. It's making sounds um, in a chimney, and this is what I saw a Reddit post some time ago about pigeons making sound on chimneys because the chimneys resonate and they makes the sound louder. Anyway, I feel pretty good today because um, I've been making some good decisions in the past few days. This is the first full week since I left my job, so I've been adjusting and I've been trying to make adjustments to my schedule. So one of the things I decided to do in the last couple of days, which I think has made a big difference to mental health, is to cut out negative news and specifically, or more specifically, subreddits because I use Reddit a lot, and one thing which I was noticing subconsciously without even trying was I was getting involved in a lot of toxic, negative subreddits because those when you go on the homepage on Reddit, those are the subreddits that are just on the homepage. So all the things that are talking about negative stuff or stuff that's completely um, just not conducive to growth. So I found out a way of removing those subreddits. You have to go into settings and you have to, it's better do on your phone. And I just muted, I muted all those subreddits. So Ask Reddit, because it keeps on bringing up not safe for work posts, um, news, Reddit news, Reddit world news, um, Reddit United Kingdom, because it talks about Reddit politics, all these things that talk about political content, talk about news. And it's been a few days. This has probably been the longest time that I am consciously remembering in the last few months that I haven't been exposed to negativity from Reddit. And I think it's making a big impact. And I'm actually beginning to feel mentally free. This is very similar to what I did when I first quit news. So what back in the day, like 10 years ago, I remember I used to have a habit of waking up in the morning feeling excited. Actually, not even 10 years ago, longer than that. But I used to wake up feeling excited, and then the first thing I do is I log into BBC News on the homepage, and then my positive mood would just like dwindle down, and I'll just be back into the negative timeline. And since I quit that, I remember a feeling of freedom. I used to have this had this internal feeling of freedom. I think it was about 2015. That's when it started really kicking in. That's when I had this feeling like, wow, I'm feeling positive because I'd made this conscious habit to avoid the news. So in the same way, by removing these subreddits, I've removed a lot of toxicity in my mind, and that's stopping me from thinking about these things that I just can't control. Things like migration or immigration things, the tension between the different parties and the population in the UK. My race, I can't change my race, and that relates to migration and how people treat me. Things like the American politics system, all that stuff, and how that has a downstream impact on our politics, or things about the climate, even though there's now renewables, which are positives, there's still a lot of doomerism. So all these things were really getting me down and really affected my positive mind. And yeah, and since getting away from the toxicity of work, removing out my psyche, now cutting down the toxicity of these subreddits, I feel a lot clearer. And also because of another decision I made. So I was researching. So yesterday I had a really serious decision to make. Do I stay in the UK or do I immigrate to either US, Australia, or Switzerland? Because I can get a job in those countries because I'm a highly qualified professional. Now I can do that, but then I realized, what am I trying to do long term? I was thinking about the cognitive load I'll be putting on myself, trying to learn a new culture, new customs, new bureaucracies, new ways of thinking and working, trying to balance that while trying to build a business on the side. Those two competing goals, it's going to make my goal, my long term goal, take longer. And so I had to think long term. I've got to think long term. Work, stay in the UK, even though some things are not ideal. Even my salary is not ideal compared to what I would get if I migrated. But still, the fact is I can focus on something, build a business or something, hopefully, and that would allow me to actually, in the long term, be able to travel to those places anyway when I want. So those are the kind of things I was thinking about. And when I actually looked at all the figures and stuff and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, I actually was able to let go of that negative thinking that was in my mind about this decision I haven't made. And now I can just let go. And then I can also point towards my habits in terms of my diet. Like this week, I'm even starting to see my skin. It's starting to glow again. I've been eating sweet potato regularly at night for dinner, um, because obviously I'm now put myself on the budget since I've let go of my job, so I'm not eating out. I'm not eating KFC or going to any eat junk food. So I'm basically forcing myself to eat only healthy foods which I cook at home, and it started to have an effect on my skin, and I think that's also a reflection of what's happening internally. So this is only in 1 week. So I'm hopeful that next week, that's when the exponential curve starts kicking. I'll start to see even more positive benefits of the changes that I'm making. But yeah, that's a brief update of what's been happening and how I'm feeling. With that said, take care. Peace.